Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello everyone. My name is Ziad bin Muhammad Sokri and my material number is 272910. Now, I want to present about company profile. Agro-food company KL sources Berhad crops and produces foods, energy sources and proteins. The business operates integrated animal farming, marine products manufacturing which is MPM, and palm oil mining operations among other activities. Additionally, KL engages in the production and marketing of products based on surimi, deep sea fishing and fish meal, as well as processing and selling animal feeds, poultry and related items. It also distributes raw materials for animal feed. KL runs a family mart convenience shop which sells a variety of freshly prepared and ready-to-eat meals. The corporation conducts business in Malaysia, China and Indonesia, which is Malaysia's Shah Alam, serve as the home base for QL Resources Berhad.
Hi everyone, my name is Najawinti Muhammad Nazam, and I am going to proceed with the issue that occur in QL Resources Berhad. There are four issues occur in QL Resources. First is the lack of manpower and MCO's different phases. The marine product manufacturing MPM spread their activities to the whole value chain from fishery to consumer value added product. The micro range from marine farming and fishing in deep seas through raw material processing into a surimi based product. Snacks and healthful, convenient marine-based item that appealing to the modern life. As in 2020, the fish landing was great, but it's countered by the market reduction, which result in the reducing prices. This had been followed by the impact of the shortage of manpower and various phases of MCOs. The price of fish meal is predicted to remain unchanged. However, the weak sales volume leading to the decreased landing and the production of fish will have the negative impact on QL performance. QL Resources Berhad also initiate that a campaign to only recruit an active employee, which is likely to stabilize the fishing unit's operation. Okay, so the second issue is low prices of egg and high cost of food consuming. The MCOs has affected QL integrated livestock farming, which is the ILF, specifically the supply chain interruption of ILF operation was shaken by obstacle as a result of a double impact of low egg prices and growing expenses. In Peninsular Malaysia, egg prices are predicted to stay on a stabilization path with an egg access worse by a decreasing demand due to lower consumption as a result of the pandemic. Consumer prices are expected to remain extraordinary high, putting additional strain on farming operation. The trading business of QL is profitable mainstay, but the volume is expected to fall according to the pandemic, while the commodity prices are expected to remain acceptable. Okay, the third issue is the increasing selling price of crude palm oil CPO. In 2021, the weather had an impact on Indonesian estate fresh fruit branch FFB production, resulting in a lower harvest and a reduced oil extraction rate OER. FFB output was 134,000 metric tons, a 5% decrease from 141,000 metric tons in 2020. As a result, QL was unable to totally capitalize on the increased CPO pricing. Weather condition impacted FFB and OER output. A rising processing cost, the POC observed an unfavorable outcome from a forward-selling strategy. Furthermore, despite the increase of CPO selling price, POC's profitability was restricted by an Indonesian windfall tax, a low return, and intense competition from other processing companies. Okay, the last issue is the daily sales per outlet decrease. Family Mart is a highly expandable business aimed at offering convenience to a busy Malaysian by providing a ready-to-eat and halal food. Footfall recovered after movement restriction were eased in the second half of a calendar year during the 2020. During the pandemic COVID-19, the public was encouraged to stay at home during the first MCO. Malls, airport, and public transportation were deserted. Sales fell in the first quarter of 2021, but subsequently recovered to the near average level throughout the conditional and recovery MCO period. As the number of the COVID-19 incident increased, increased dramatically near the end 2021. It's normalizing daily sales per outlet is very difficult.
Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Syahrin Azam bin Dami Syamsul. My lovely metric number is 272919. I hope doctor and all my fellow friends are feeling well. Today, I would like to present about the SWOT analysis strategy for the company. SWOT analysis of QL Resources Berhad includes 4 key elements, which are strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The SWOT analysis is used to analyze QL Resources Berhad's internal and external environment. This is due to the fact that SWOT analysis is a tool for organizational strategic planning and management and may also be used effectively to develop organizational and competitive strategies. The internal factors of the SWOT analysis of QL Resources Berhad include its strengths and weaknesses, while external factors represent the threats and the opportunities. In the next part, I would like to present what are the strengths and weaknesses that QL Resources have. The initial strengths that have been identified in QL Resources is the talent management as well as the skill development of the staff. In the food processing business like QL Resources Berhad, human resource played a crucial role in the company's overall success. The second initial strength of the company, which is the product of QL Resources Berhad, have a solid reputation for brand recognition in the business of food processing. Due to this, the company is in a position to charge a higher price than its competitors are able to do. The third strength that the company possesses is its diverse income models. Over the course of its history, the company has expanded its operation into a variety of fields outside of the consumer good industry. Because of this, the company has been able to build a diverse revenue source that extends beyond the consumer sector and the food processing sector. Next, QL Resources Berhad has been successful with their new product mix. Customers of QL Resources Berhad have access to a comprehensive selection of product mix options. In the field of food processing, this assists the organization in meeting the needs of a diverse range of customer categories. Furthermore, the company operates throughout a large geographic area. Not only does the brand dealer network and associates network that QL Resources Berhad maintains to help the company give effectiveness service to its customers, but it also assists the customer in meeting the demanding requirements of the food processing industry's competitive environment. Lastly, QL Resources Berhad has a proven track record of innovation, which is one of its strengths. This happens when it comes to consumer innovation despite the fact that most players in the consumer market seek to innovate. Finish about the strengths of the company, now we go to the weaknesses that QL Resources Berhad occurred. The first one is regarding their business model. The business model of QL Resources Berhad is simple enough for other companies in the food processing industry to replicate with little effort. To be successful in overcoming these obstacles, the organization in question must construct a model for their platform that is capable of integrating their many suppliers, partners, and end users. Next, weakness in additional costs that QL Resources Berhad will incur in order to construct a new supply chain and logistic network. Given the declining importance of the dealer network, the company is required to construct a new and more resilient supply chain network. This is because the business model in the consumer market has been drastically affected as a result of the internet and artificial intelligence. Due to this, the cost could potentially be very high. Next, the third weaknesses of QL Resources Berhad is the supplier loyalty to the company. Loyalty among suppliers on the QL Resources Berhad is low. In light of the preceding history of QL Resources Berhad, new technologies were developed with the goal of bringing down price throughout the supply chain. Furthermore, the high turnover rate of employees working in lower level position is another worry for the company. It may result in greater wages in order to keep talented employees working for the same organizations. Next is specialty markets and local monopolies, whereby business that are able to take advantage of them are quickly disappearing. The effectiveness of the client network that QL Resources has been working to cultivate is showing signs of declining. Last but not least, QL Resources Berhad depleting market share despite the company's growing sales. The food processing industry as a whole is expanding at a rate that is higher than that of the corporation. In such a situation, QL Resources Berhad is required to conduct an in-depth analysis of the various trends within the consumer sector in order to determine what it needs to do in order to promote future growth.
Now we move to opportunities. Opportunities are areas in which the company has the opportunity to find prospects for growth in terms of both profits and market share. The first opportunity presented by QL Resources Berhad is the quickening of the pace of economic growth. Because the economy in the United States is improving at a quicker rate than that of any other developed economy, QL Resources Berhad will have the potential to expand into the market in the United States. QL Resources Berhad undoubtedly was already familiar with how to function in the cutthroat environment of the US market. The second opportunity is the ongoing trend of customers upgrading to higher-end items, which has created some interesting possibilities. QL Resources has a great chances to capitalize on this market because its premium brands are well-known and respected, and because consumers have dealt with QL Resources low-tier brands in the past have had a positive experience thanks to the excellent customer service those brands have provided. This is an opportunity for the company to increase its profit, which might be good for business in a number of ways. Next, there are possibilities for QL Resources Berhad to increase the size of its existing customer base. Increasing the size of the customer base in the more affordable market segments, customers will be required to switch from unorganized operators in the consumer business to licensed companies as a result of this migration. It will present QL Resources Berhad with the possibility of penetrating the entry-level market with an offering that does not include any frills. QL Resources Berhad, by coordinating with unaffiliated retail partners and a social network reserved for its use, may also be able to cut down on the expenses normally connected with releasing new items. QL Resources Berhad can take advantage of this trend by testing their new product on a smaller scale at first and then scaling up it. They find they have a winner. Furthermore, QL Resources Berhad will be working with local organizations. The QL Resources Berhad may potentially find prospects for growth in international markets through ties up with local companies that are already established in such regions. The local stakeholders bring their extensive knowledge of the area to the table, while QL Resources Berhad is able to provide the knowledge of global processes and execution. Lastly, QL Resources Berhad has the ability to slowly reduce the rate of inflation. Because of the low inflation rates, the market has become more stable as a result, QL Resources Berhad is able to offer its customer loans at interest rates that are lower. This will result in an increase in the consumption of products manufactured by QL Resources Berhad. Now we move to threats. There are a few potential threats that could affect the way that QL Resources Berhad does business. There are a number of factors that could threaten a company's capacity to execute its business model successfully. These include changes in macroeconomic circumstances and evolving opinions on the side of customers. Risk can be managed but cannot be prevented. To begin, the QL Resources Berhad's growth could be affected by the trade tension between the United States and China. The prospect of full-scale trade war as a result makes it difficult for QL Resources Berhad to expand its operation in China. Second, one of the threats that the company faces is the pressure brought on by its competitors. The length of time between the introduction of new products in the consumer goods of sectors is getting shorter. It is necessary for QL Resources Berhad to increase the level of competitive pressure placed on participants. QL Resources Berhad is unable to swiftly respond to the needs of the niche markets that disruptor focus on because of the sheer volume of consumers it serves. In addition, the corporation is experiencing a saturation in the urban market as well as saturation in the rural sector. This tendency is an ongoing challenge for QL Resources Berhad in the food processing industry where it operates. This is due in part to the significantly lower rates of acceptance for new commodities in the rural market. QL Resources Berhad incurs higher costs serving rural consumers than urban ones because of the greater distances to be travelled and the lack of necessary infrastructure. Alteration in the workforce demographic are another factor that poses a threat to QL Resources Berhad. When baby boomers retire, they bring a lot of disposable income with them, which the next generation is having trouble matching, since younger consumers tend to be less brand loyal and more open to trying new products. This might boost QL Resources Berhad's short-term profit, but hurts in long-term profitability. Next, a growing mistrust of established organization as well as an elevated risk of legal action for QL Resources Berhad, due to the fact that enforcing WTO regulations and laws consistently across different markets is quite challenging. The legal process has evolved into a time-consuming and financially burdensome endeavor. QL Resources Berhad may be dissuaded from investing in developing nations as a result, which could slow global growth. Finally, the company's competitors are making significant advances in terms of product innovation. QL Resources Berhad is now the industry leader in terms of product innovation within the food processing sector, although it faces stiff competition from both domestic and international firms.
Hi, here I am again. Before passing to the next presenter, I would like to touch a little bit about TOS analysis. Here are illustrations that shows the relationship between the four key elements, which is strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threat. The first one is strength opportunity strategy, which is the QL Resources Berhad utilize the name recognition into market. Next, we have strength trade strategy, which the company invests into R&D to prevent competitors in the consumer good markets. Moreover, in weakness opportunity strategies, QL Resources is developing in services focused on the consumer and in the supply chain also. So that brings me to the end of my presentation. Now I would like to pass to the next presenter. Thank you very much.
Strategy recommendation. It helped QL Resources to overcome the strategy difficult that were discussed. The company should concentrate on methods that could lower the risk and improve the business stability. So we suggest 4 strategies for the QL Resources. First is operation strategy. Second, marketing strategy. Third is growth strategy. And the last is retrenchment strategy. Okay, first is operation strategy. This strategy emphasizes consumer and supply chain focused service. The company must build a platform model that integrates supplier, partner, and end user to overcome this challenge. QL Resources Berhad must build a more resilient supply chain network when the dealer network declines. QL Resources may be able to grow in international market by partnering with local companies who know global process and execution. Second is marketing strategy. Marketing strategy include pricing, selling, and distribution. QL Resources Berhad customers have many product mix possibility. This helps food processors satisfy various client needs. The company must advertise other products with a successful brand. QL Resources Berhad food processing product have a strong brand recognition. QL Resources Berhad also strong dealer and associate network help it serve customer and meet the food processing industry demand requirement. Third is growth strategy. The company growth plan is to expand operation since QL Resources Berhad knew how to operate in the US market. QL Resources may be able to enter the market because the US economy is developing faster than any other industrial economy. Next, QL Resources Berhad may also increase its customer base. This migration will drive consumers to switch from unleased customer business to leased one. This will enhance client number in lower price market and can enter the entry-level market with a no-frill offering. The last is retrenchment strategy. The company is implementing in their retrenchment is to reduce the cost associated and has the ability to cut costs that are involved with the introduction of new items. The rising pattern provide company with opportunity to start with a modest size before expanding following the initial success of a new product, which can be taken advantage of if the trend continues. Next, lower the rate at which prices are increasing. The market has become more stable as a direct result of the low inflation rate. In addition, the company is now in a position to provide the customer with loans that have interest rates that are lower. That's all the 4 strategies that we suggest to QL Resources Berhad.